this afternoon, there's a full-scale probe underway into the alleged defilement of a 4-year-old girl in Assin in the central region. The police chief in the region has summoned senior officers responsible for investigating the matter. Mother of the victim, Monica Nyakum, alleged that a local chief said the community gods have exonerated the suspect. We will be going live on the ground to speak to our reporter, Richard Kojo Nyakum, who is at that meeting. But first, he has been speaking to a chief in Assin and some of the community people.
Assin Nyami Betre Camp 1 is located off the Yamransa Assin Fosu Road, with a relatively bumpy road network leading to the community. The number of houses in the community can be counted within minutes. I could count up to about 20 houses apart from the cocoa sheds that are sparsely mounted. It is a community of farmers that mostly grow cocoa.
Because Brahman or Chairman and Casano and a year and Casano, or moon to me, Macan, almost seen at a pound on the boy, or more cost at a pound on the boy.
The truth of the matter is that the victim's father, who is my linguist, has not come to me. All that they've been doing is to rain insult on me that I've been defending the suspect, Kwabena. They claim we are not good elders of the community. All we did was to demand the doctor's report that has confirmed that indeed the 17-year-old boy, Kwabena, had a penile penetration on the 4-year-old girl. More 4 years, 17 years, next thing now, Dr. Nibian to me to report. Say, I am a chabo fano. Next thing I don't know almost say, you know. And it, yeah, say, oh, man, the betu from my amateur camp. Why I said the betu from there, and yeah, and was some cover. Nana Abubuya, as he is popularly known, is the Odikro of the town. He is known privately as John Mensah. Nana had just returned from the farm about 6:30 p.m. when darkness had already engulfed the community. He denies settling the matter in the house and invoking any deity as part of the alleged defilement of the 4-year-old girl. He is my linguist, and so after establishing the truth, I will remove him as my linguist. I have no pact with Kwabena, but he is my uncle's son. It was because of his father, that is why I am the Odikro today. But I'm not defending him. The suspect in question, Kwabena, is Nana Abubuya's uncle's son. In fact, it is because of the suspect's father that he, Nana Abubuya, is Odikro today. Some of the opinion leaders in the community have also been speaking with JoyNews.
No, the hospital, na say Dr. Professor, Assemna Assin, and Ocresa Bemad in Wakanedia. And na Emrakwan Bia was a Yansu Sempony for a buano, Yawahasi, a Debabuama, Emrayan, a Jumabian, Yansu, Yadiabua.
We told them to take it to the hospital so we will know the truth. It could be that they are accusing Kwabena, or it may be true. That is why we told them to go to the hospital for a proof before the next action could be taken. Some of us are a bit skeptical because there was a time the two girls stole the fish of their mom, and when they asked them, they said it was Kwabena, the suspect, that had done it.
Yeah. Okrano kokowi omame namwa omame ba omubisa omuse ose Kwabena na yeden ewie sa nam no enti wose we kan wa 2 times ni enti na ema Kwabena na ni bre say
nothing of this sort has ever happened since we came to this town. As of now, we don't know the truth. We were only waiting for the doctor's report that indicates that the child has been defiled by Kwabena, so we could hand him over to the police.
eti nanka ye twen say boy ne dey report bi beba say bia asem no say na ti anase say na ti ye hwe animu a.
We those living here at Nyamibetre do not know the truth, but based on all that is going on, I don't think it is the truth.
Na de omo kan de minyi ni say bibi ewo mu a ayi say ne ho no de minim fa ho no.
At the time I was leaving the community, the suspect Kwabena had not returned from the market with his mother. He is alleged to have gone to support his mother sell her foodstuffs as he usually does every Wednesday at the market at Ando.
All right, like I indicated, Richard Kojonya, our correspondent for the Central Region, is in a high-powered meeting by the police in that region, and we're trying to reach him so we can have a quick update. But in the meantime, Alliance for Women in Media Africa is one of the groups that calling, well, making some demands on how the country should deal with this particular incident. JoyNews editor Araba Kumsin joins me in the studio. She's part of Alma. I'm part of Alma, and we can be biased on this. Allow us. Araba, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so this is the only chance where you get to be biased, don't you? Let's talk a bit more about this very sad situation. And I know that we've had a series of conversations about this in the newsroom, and it touches everybody's heart. Exactly. Now, let's quickly go through what Alma is demanding.
Now, first of all, Gifty, if you allow me, you know, Alma is an advocacy group, right. And so we seek to add our voices to, you know, the debates or the discuss on major issues, especially affecting women and children. And this is one such case. So we were outraged when we heard about this story that was put out by our own Maxwell Agbagba, and we felt that the inaction by the state authorities, the security agencies, even the gender ministry, you know, was disappointing. And so we sought to, you know, put out a statement denouncing it, and also, you know, calling for action by some of these state agencies. So basically what we are seeking to do is petition the IGP, the Inspector General of Police, and we've made some moves. We have been speaking to members of the hierarchy, and they have indicated that they will be seeing us very soon. They'll give us a date for us to come and present our petition. We'll also be petitioning Parliament and also the Gender Ministry. Essentially, and very simply, what we are asking for is action to be done and justice to be given to the little girl. So if you allow me,
what we will allow you, Araba.
What we are seeking, amongst others, is the immediate transfer of the case to the National Police Headquarters in Accra, due to the lackadaisical attitude of the Municipal Police Command in handling the case. And as you are aware, the Assin police have been given excuses as to why they haven't been able to prosecute the case.
And I personally have been trying to reach the Assin police since last Friday, which when we told the story about an 18-year-old girl who was raped, and
in that same community.
In the same community. He was raped, not in the same community, in the same constituency. She was raped, and then the guy threatened to stage a suicide and leave a letter and say that, you know, write a letter for her indicating that she had committed suicide. So that is the case that I was trying to get the police, Assin police, on. We never got through to them. Yesterday we tried, 3 days ago we tried, we have never gotten through to them. So this is what I'll call a great call.
And it's quite interesting. You know, there are reports emerging that there are several other cases like this that the police is not attending to. Well, another thing that we're seeking to do is the immediate arrest of the suspect, pending full investigations. As you know, the suspect has still not been arrested. He's still walking free because the police, as we had said, that they were waiting for the father of the victim to now go and lead them to the suspect, and that hasn't happened. So he's still walking free. We're also seeking a special prosecutor to immediately handle the investigation and immediate arraignment of the case before a competent court of jurisdiction. Also, we need immediate medical attention for the victim in Accra by the Social Welfare Department. And a lot of people have criticized the Social Welfare Department for not intervening in this case. In other jurisdictions, you would, you know, find the Social Welfare Department immediately, you know, jumping into such cases and ensuring that justice is done for the victim and their families. So we're also calling for support and protection for the mother and the child who may become targets of the families and friends of the suspect.
True.
Yes, and the state must also declare zero tolerance for defilement and rape, because defilement has a face, and in this case, it's the face of the 4-year-old girl.
Right. And if you have seen those pictures, it's still something that's those videos from Assin. It's still something that I personally cannot live with. You wake up and you see this little girl trying to stand on her feet, and she can't. And as a woman, you are trying to, beat this idea of someone forcibly, if that indeed happened. Just so we be fair to him, by the way, whatever that means.
Yeah, and Gifty, this is not an isolated case. Right. You know yourself, here at JoyNews, you've been covering several cases like this, and very often it's as if the police have a lackadaisical attitude about, such cases. They fail to prosecute the cases, and in many cases, they make the victims feel like the criminals, the perpetrators. Wrong. Yes. Right. So we're hoping that we'll push this agenda and ensure that such cases that come before the police will be dealt with as quickly as possible to give justice to the victims involved.
Speaking of justice to the victim involved, there's a press release that has just come in from the police, and it says police will ensure justice in a sinful defilement case. I'm going to read this to you, but what's really making me teary right now is the fact that this matter would have been brushed under the carpet so easily had everybody or anybody, if the media hadn't heard of this, that will be it. Anyway, this is what the police is saying. The attention of the police headquarters has been drawn to reports of the defilement of a 4-year-old girl at Assin in the Assin Fosu district of the Central Region, and action/inaction of police in that area. The Inspector General of Police has therefore directed the Central Regional Command to take over the case for investigation. So, Araba, that sounds like victory, doesn't it? It's one of the demands met right there.
Exactly.
Okay, so number 2 says the investigation will focus on how to save the child, whether police procedures were duly followed, and generally ensuring that justice is done. 3, a police clinical psychologist who is attached to the Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit at Accra has also been assigned to assist the process. Sounds like another demand met, Araba. The police administration therefore assures the public that any person who is found culpable of wrongdoing, including police officers, will be dealt with according to law. And it is signed by Sheila Kese Abeye Bachman, Director of Public Affairs, Deputy Superintendent of she's Deputy Superintendent of Police. That's a mouthful.
If I may, we're also hearing of reports of a similar case at North Kaneshi, the police station, and this is not verified yet, but what we are hearing is that the police is asking the parents of the victim and the perpetrator to come to an out-of-court settlement or agreement of some sort.
Wow.
So we're going to be investigating that, because if the police is the one saying, settle this out of court, it's a crime. It's a crime. It needs to be prosecuted. So we will be investigating that as well.
But whether or not it's true, I will find it very difficult to look at any police person and not ask them whether or not they have a child who is a girl, and ask them if they'll be happy if this happened to them. But anyway, this is just me. I'm going to tell you what's happening on social media. But Alba, thank you so much for coming. But you could still stay with me if you don't mind. Let me just go through what's happening on social media. And kudos to everybody who joined in the campaign with the hashtag Justice for Her. It appears that we're getting some good response from the police. What remains to be done, though, is to follow the police to make sure that they carry through whatever it is that they've put on paper here. Let me read to you what's happening on Facebook. Stop defilement, that's the hashtag. JoyNews' hashtag. Join the campaign and let justice prevail. So we put together an infographics here for you. We'll tell you what happened. So a teacher defiles a 3-year-old in Assin Ayite. Well, the first one, by the way, is Kwabena defiles a 4-year-old girl in Assin Adediantem. Number 2 is a teacher who has defiled a 3-year-old in Assin Ayite. Number 3 is a 24-year-old elder brother who defiled a 7-month-old baby girl in Assin Latte. A 52-year-old man defiles a 13-year-old girl in Assin Adiembra. That's number 4. The 5th one is the stepfather defiling a 15-year-old girl in Assin Areso. The 6th one is three guys who gang raped a 13-year-old ice water seller in Assin Manso. The 7th is a 32-year-old man who rapes a 16-year-old girl on her way to dump refuse in Assin. If that doesn't outrage you, I don't know what else will. Let me quickly take some of your comments and then we'll call it a wrap on that. Vera Elvis says, so what is special about raping in #Assin? I have no idea. I wish I had. Harriet Mensah, why have they been cursed? Okay. I don't know. Why are they defiling innocent children? Eugenia Asantewa Jemfi says, it shows that area needs to be sensitized about rape victims and rights of those who are abused, or there is no police station in the area. Actually, there is. There is even a divisional police command as well. So, Arba, this is one of the reasons why some of the people think that people don't report. Because when they report, then they don't get any proper response from the police there. So, and what happens from one of the journalists that Maxwell spoke to is that they tend to have traditional leaders come in and say, let's deal with this, let's solve this problem. Well, we'll see about that. This girl is certainly a magic that's happening to Assin Fosu, because then she's bringing out all of these issues that have happened in the past. A few more comments and then we'll call it a wrap. Efodela says, and all these, are still alive, walking up and down. They deserve proper and better lynching. And I won't advocate lynching, my dear. Munkaila Nassam said, all in the name of democracy. They will say court. That everybody is using a lot of, some sort of language that I can't really use on TV. We'll need lawyers to defend them. In my community, instant justice will welcome them. If they never bother to respect the right of the victims, don't expect anyone to respect you. Take it easy, my dear. Adi Adbediba says, what the hell is happening at Assin? Defilement here and there. But Jeremiah says, justice for defiled victims now. Thank you for that. Charles Abu says, all in the name of ritual money, I bet you. Well, that's a conspiracy theory. We may look into that some way, somehow. J. Cal says, what is wrong with the people of Assin? Are they okay? Nana Adams Nana Adams is saying, okay, so you are looking at Kojo Yangsin, chops mentally unstable person. Oh, come on, easy, dear. Easy. Let's use some language that's acceptable, shall we? Nasser Hassan Yayuma says, so what is wrong with those? Okay, I think I'll leave it there. For those of you who love social media, you can go on our page, facebook.com/JoyNews on TV and catch the comment for yourself. Some of the words they call unprintable. Arba Kumsin, thank you very much for coming. So Alma should be smiling. The Alliance for Women in Media Africa should be smiling all the way to the gender ministry.
And I must say that it's not just the work of Alma, but a lot of gender advocates and human rights activists, including Pebedem Ministries and a lot of other organizations are all, joining hands to push this agenda.
Certainly.
So to everyone.
Certainly. And there are lots of petitions ongoing at change.org. You want to be a part of that as well. Let's move on from there. If it doesn't break your heart, I don't know what else. Let's move on.